Okay, hey, what's up, YouTube? Alpha Squad, this Tars down again, y'all. This is that Go Hard or Go Home channel. All right, was having a bit of technical difficulty, guys, so I had to go and redo this thing. 'Cause I always go live at 5 on Sunday, so I'm back now. All right, here's the deal. We're going to be discussing non-select man behavior today and the 3 unforgivable man sins, okay? Hey, if it's anybody that want to get in on the conversation, you can hit that link over there in the doggone board in the comments over there. Drop your comments. Let me know what you be thinking. Okay, anybody that's watching this for the first few times, I'm Taurus down, and I'll be helping with manosphere stuff, red pill stuff, guy stuff in general. Now, I'm not really for the manosphere and the red pill. You'll find out more about that in this video because I'm gonna talk about a couple things with them. But worst case scenario, bottom case scenario, let's go ahead and get into this. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. Non-select man behavior. Okay, what is that? Some guys want to know what that is. Okay, here's the deal. There's a certain way that a man has of acting, and if you don't act that way, then you're probably non-select. We're gonna go over this kind of stuff. So, what's the difference between non-select and select? Select is a man that women will pick naturally. You ain't gotta do no begging. You ain't gotta do no crying. Some guys call it an alpha male, or things like that. You know, I don't really call it that, but some people call it that. Uh, Basically, not just say somebody who got his shit together, but just somebody that ain't got to complain and beg the women. All right, that's a select man. All right, my belief is that all men can be select. All right, my belief is that most men choose not to be select. We're gonna be going over that in this video. All right, we're gonna be talking about that today while we're on live here. All right, so non-select man behavior is basically doing things like trying to hold women accountable. Because that's dumb. They don't do that. Women don't do accountability. All right. Men that women are to look at as like a select man, they don't have to hold women accountable because women hold themselves accountable. Okay. When you the select man, the woman's either gonna hold herself accountable or you ain't finna deal with her. But there ain't gonna be no explaining. Non-select behavior, that's explaining. So you gotta or asking or telling her how she, trying to get things to work right because she ain't doing this and she ain't doing that. Yeah. No. Women know how to act, guys. That's what the main part of it I want to get across in this video is that women know how to act. They don't do it for guys that they don't find selected. They don't want to pick. They're not picking you for real if, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do all of that. It's just the honest truth. All right. Now, how do I tie this stuff to pretty much the manosphere and the red pill? Okay. A lot of these guys that do these manosphere and red pill shows, they're doing a lot of non-select man behavior. They're talking to women. They're trying to get them to understand or explain or whatever. Some of them be saying they're trying to show. We're gonna watch a video here in a second. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. But they be trying to explain to women this and that. And in the video that we're gonna watch in a little bit, you're gonna see that even if because the guy that I'm gonna show you, y'all know who he is, and you know what I'm saying, he's a famous guy for doing this shit. But all this talking and talking to women, and they still gonna turn around and fry your ass in the end because you're doing non-select man behavior. All right, trying to explain to women that the shit that women call sassy. Okay, um, that's non-select man behavior because if you have to do that, you're not being picked, guy. I'm telling you right now. If you gotta explain to women, if you gotta tell them about their bad ways and they doggone shit like that, you're not being chosen because women don't act that way for men that they want to be with. It just don't shoot the messenger. It's just a God honest truth. All right. Non-select man behavior is gonna cause you to do things that they're gonna make women peg you as being the man that women don't take or don't like or don't want. Number one, if you feel like all the time you got a doggone, you gotta put a point across to women. You gotta let them know. You gotta see if you already walking around. That's why I say the manosphere is bad for guys because it's is fostering that kind of thing into guys. And what's happening is when they go out here in the world, they got this fucking chip on their shoulder and they don't know that it's there. The guys don't know that this fucking chip on their shoulder is actually there. So they out here in the world and they doing this non-select man behavior, trying to hold women accountable, trying to explain to women, hey, look, this is how you do this. Select men don't have to do that. That's the problem right there. The woman's gonna act right for the select man, but she's not gonna do it for a non-select man. And if you're the one who has to explain to her, then your ass is non-select. That's basically how that works. Okay. So you got to know what the non-select behavior is. That way you ain't doing it. What's some of it? I'm gonna keep going over them. Don't explain shit to women. They know exactly how to act. They know it. Women act right for the guys that they like or the women they want to be with. Okay. If they're not doing that for you, that's where you don't need to be at. You need to be moving on, going on somewhere else. Okay. That's the first thing. All right. Don't take crap off of women. All right. Women know, look, guys, women know how to act. Okay. If a woman, she being disrespectful, a lot of these guys are talking about a woman's mouth and what she's saying and this and that and doing this and that. Yeah. Okay. This would be the truth. But the thing of it is what the hell is that got to do with you? Because if she being slick at the mouth, that's somebody that you don't need to be around. It's somebody that you need to go on about your business and don't worry about even dealing with it like that. Okay. So you kind of bringing that one on yourself when you sitting there dealing with that. This is why I tell guys on the channel all the time, don't deal with none of that kind of crap. Don't deal with none of it. None of it. Not a damn bit. She start being slick at the mouth, it's time to go. Women only be slick at the mouth with men that they don't respect or that they see as non-select. Okay. We're going to go over the difference between non-select and select again. All right. Select is a man that women will take. And they do the right things for that man. They don't have no, he don't have to explain. Non-select, you gotta explain. You pretty much gotta explain. It's just that simple. You wanna know if you're a select man or not, you don't know that woman's really choosing you. All you got to do is look at the fact that you got to explain simple shit like, how to act as a woman. If you got to explain them things, your ass is this woman don't see you as select because she will act right. Women know exactly how to act. We about to watch a video here with this no Fugazi guy, and I'm gonna show y'all how some of this shit is gonna backfire on you. The non-select man behavior, because this guy does a lot. He's always his show, all the shows with the guys like saying and sitting there talking to women, and this is why women are delusional. This no, women don't give a fuck about that, and men don't explain it to them. A real man just lets that shit go and don't even deal with that broad no more, or she gets treated like a jump off. We're gonna watch this video right quick with old boy. Basically, the man, he lays out. I'm not saying the man was lying when he was talking, but the problem is that because of his ways and what he does, the man exhibits non-select man behavior, even though he should be select. Let's go ahead and watch this video.
Just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Okay, before we go, what's your math saying?
Now, here it goes. Here it goes. Now she's about to fry the nigga because she don't see him as select. And I'm going to tell y'all in the end of this video why she don't. Number one, see how he just had to explain? You shouldn't have to tell her none of that shit. Now, she asked him. I get that. She asked him. But that's what I'm saying. That's how I know he's non-select. Because it shouldn't have had to come out of his mouth. She had to make him say it because she don't see it. Let's go ahead and finish this, guys. Let's go ahead and watch see the rest she say.
Conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman. A top tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dream.
And with
But I
all that
digress.
stuff
Now,
that you just said,
and here goes the deal, guys. The woman's full of shit because that's not really what a top tier man does. Okay, some of what she said was right, but the majority of it was BS. Okay, but the thing I wanted to point out is this right here. She sat right across from that man. He gave her the list of all of that shit, and he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. The only thing is that she can't see it. See what I'm saying? She can't see it. And when she can't see it, hey, look, that's what you're going to get. They can't see this thing right here with this guy like this. They cannot see that because when she sat there and she was talking to this guy, number one, when y'all saw the video, she asked him, what makes you a top tier man? She knew the answer to that. She knew the answer. She knew the answer. She made him explain because she don't see him that way. Because she see you sit there talking to women all the time, like you're trying to explain to her right fucking now. That's what he was doing. Well, this and that, and this and that. Well, all that, the shit that shouldn't even have to be said. You should be somewhere with your dick in the bitch mouth right now. But see, I want to show that as an example to y'all because that's what you're getting. With these guys is out here doing all this shit with this women, because I'm telling y'all the truth. Most of these guys is out here supposedly telling these women off and all the other good shit. They're not helping you. Like Kevin Samuels was a big one. I'm not saying the motherfucker wasn't telling the truth. The deal was that it was not helping you. It actually was making you look more fucked up because you sitting here with a guy that's got it that you want to try to explain it because it's non-select man behavior. Only a non-select man got to explain that fucking much. If this no Fugazi guy was sitting across from this woman that we just watched in this video, if he was sitting across from this woman and she saw him as a select man, she wouldn't have asked him that question. If he had a different type of podcast where he wasn't always trying to talk with the women and, well, we're just going to keep it no Fugazi and all the other good shit. No, it's non-select man behavior because you're trying to explain to them. Look, guys, and I can't explain why it's that way. I just know that it is that way, okay? I'm telling you. Women are funny, all right? But who's ever out front can't be breaking some of these things. Now, we're going to get into some of these things also when we talk about the 3 unforgivable man sins here in a minute, okay? Look, non-select man behavior. Pretty much anything where you got to explain yourself to a fucking woman. If you got to explain yourself to them, you're not the guy you're not the select guy. You're not the guy on top. You ain't got to explain nothing to a woman that done picked you. Nothing. But what you need to lay down over here. Lay down over there. I'm finna get on you. That's the only thing you really got to explain this joker. That's it. I want guys to learn to stay away from non-select man behavior, okay? Which is one of the reasons why I'm doing videos like this. You're not going to talk women back into doing the right thing. That ain't going to work. It's not. That ain't coming, all right? It's the reason they're out of pocket right now. The ones that's out of pocket is because that's where they want to be. And you got to let them do that, and you go on about your business and go somewhere else and take care of your business. Okay, so you got them like passport bros, you got stuff like that going on. You know what I'm saying? Because guys starting to understand. I hope so. Anyway, that this talking about this junk with women, that junk ain't gonna work. Not at all. Just got done watching the video. Just got done watching one. And that dude laid out the whole damn list. He laid it out. He wasn't lying. 6 foot something, make 100 something thousand a year. This and that. All the stuff that women say they want. This man laid it out on that list. And she still turned around and told him, but yeah, but that you still not this. Because see, you can have all that money. You can have all the money, you can have the 6 feet, but when you got to explain to a bitch, you already ain't fucking one that they unpicked. If y'all understand that, y'all drop the comments, let Unc know. Because the whole deal of it is you the minute you got to explain, you ain't the top tier guy. You're not. You can have the money, you can have the height, you can have the looks, you can have all of it. But the minute that you got to explain, you just did non-select man behavior. That is all there is to it. Kevin Samuels told women a lot of stuff. Was he wrong? No. He wasn't lying when he's saying it. What's the problem, though? The problem is that you explain it to women, which makes you non-select. And every guy that needs to be behind you while you explain to women is a non-select motherfucker. See, that's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's what happened to guys. Women didn't like Kevin Samuels, and that not liking him spread right to the rest of the other motherfuckers because they already saw. Because see, he's acting non-select by trying to talk with women and explain shit to women when women really don't give a fuck. They really don't. And since you, as a guy, wouldn't put him as the leader, and everybody's, oh, Kevin, oh, Kevin, oh, Kevin. So, okay, you must be the same as him. See, that's how women work, guys. It's the same thing. We do it too. We do it too. If a chick's if this chick is a hoe, and you hanging out with her, and you saying you ain't a hoe, but you hang with a hoe, and you look like a hoe, if it looks like a duck, and it quacks like a duck, and water rolls off its back like a duck, it's probably a duck. It's probably that. And that's what they doing to the rest of us. When you got this big ass manosphere, I've had women come on to some of my things and make comments and say, you know, and they're not lying because my channel's a proof of it. Stuff like the stuff that keeps bitching and complaining to women gets the most views. When you're sitting around talking about some, hey, look, man, don't bitch to women. Go get your passport and go on. Nobody wants to hear that. Don't try to hold women accountable. That's just non-select. That bitch either gonna do what you want, because she likes you. You're not gonna have to explain to her. And you know, the killer thing about this is guys know this. They know this jump because they come on they come and tell me, hey, look, women break rules for these guys. They're not breaking rules for certain guys. They're taking the select man, and you're not him. Why? Because you're trying to explain to them. You're trying to do this. Look, bro, I'm telling you right now, we're gonna spend maybe a couple more minutes talking about this thing, because this right here is a subject that we don't need to keep beating. Non-select man behavior, guys don't do it. Okay. You got to keep explaining. You got to tell this person, let me say y'all something. Everybody went to kindergarten. Y'all gonna hear this story on my channel a bunch of times. If it's the first few times watching it, you're gonna watch you hear this for a long time, every time. Everybody went to kindergarten. Everybody sat in a little circle. Everybody sat in a little circle, and everybody learned about respect and friends and all the other good stuff. That's why I say I've done some shorts. Don't pay to be nobody's friends. Don't do that. All this junk women talking about money, this and that, this junk with this money. No, don't pay to be nobody's friend. Number one, that's not just non-select man behavior. That's non-select human behavior. If you got to pay to be somebody's friend, then you already know what that is, and you should know that. You should have known that from doggone kindergarten. We all went to kindergarten. We all got told what to do. Women know how to act. When you got to explain to them, I'm telling you right then, you doing non-select man behavior right then, because they know what to do. And if you explaining, you're gonna get what the No Fugazi guy just got right there in that other video. That's what's gonna happen. You can have the money, you can have all the stuff, but when you start explaining to them, if you got to try to get them to do the right thing, they already know that you're non-select, because women do the right thing. And any man that's watching this right now knows I'm telling the truth. Women automatically do the right thing for the man they want. If you're the select guy, if you're the guy that she's picking, you're not gonna have to do too much explaining. Not much. Not much. You might have to tell her every now and again something that you don't like. Yeah, it might be that, but it won't be no whole bunch of explaining. Not the basic shit, because they know what to do. Okay, so the non-select man behavior, guys. Hey, let that junk go. If a broad don't want to listen to you, if she ain't acting right, then she sees you as non-select. That's what it is, and it's time for you to go. It's not time to explain to her. It's time for you to go. Because if she don't see you as select, all you're gonna do is spend the rest of your time explaining, trying to get this person to do the right thing. You ain't got time for that. I ain't. And I don't tell nobody that watch this channel to have time for it either. It's non-select man behavior. All right? Explain it to them. You gotta explain. It's time for that bitch to catch the train. You heard me? Yeah. Gotta explain. Bitch need to catch the train, bro. All right? It's like these jokers that get mad or something, you know what I'm saying? Get mad, fight with women and shit. No. If you got a hitter, dog, it's time to quit her. Out. Because they act right for the select man. Okay? They're gonna act right for that. So keep that in mind. Stay away from trying to argue with them. Stay away from, because y'all just saw they was watching. Or if you're watching now, you watching the replay. Y'all saw the No Fugazi guy. The nigga laid out a doggone, I played the video. He laid out a list of stuff that he is and all the other good stuff. And the man didn't lie. But the thing of it is he still got a certain response from that woman. Because with the minute you got to explain to what you are, you ain't that. Not to them. If you got to explain what you are to them, you're not that. You shouldn't have to tell no woman where you at and how things are. That's the problem with the manosphere and the red pill in general. They think it's this little list of shit that if you check all the boxes on this doggone thing, then you're gonna be a select man, and that's not how that works. You just watch that homie check all the boxes. He checked every last one of them and still got told that he's a piece of shit. I know why she told him that though, because you sit there. It's the same reason like the Anton Daniels guy. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, these guys is doing these podcasts and stuff like that, and talking about the women and all these are non-select guys. If you gotta doggone get money and all the other good shit to become attractive to women, your ass is at the bottom of the totem pole. You non-select. You better find some other way of getting women to like you. Because if it's got to be that, see, that's what old boy in that little video, he laid out, everything he laid out had to do with fucking money and his height. It had nothing to do with his personality. It had nothing to do with the bitch wanting him first. Nothing. I want to point that out to y'all. Guys got to start understanding that if the only thing you got is those things, your ass is not getting picked. You're getting used. You might get in the door, but you're not being picked. You need to understand that. We don't talk a little bit enough about that one. We're gonna move into the 3 unforgivable man sins here. Okay. The 3 unforgivable man sins is something that I came up with that I want to tell young bucks about, because it's not really something that you gotta tell. It's already, people know these things, but I'm gonna reiterate it and I'm gonna put it out loud so it gives people time to think about it. All right. There's 3 things that guys should never do. Okay. And if you do these things, now people are human, you're gonna mess up and do a few of them, but you should never forgive yourself for it, and another man should never forgive you for these 3 things either. Okay. When you get to going over these 3 things here, if you do any of them, it's something you should never forgive yourself for, because you're gonna need to doggone redeem yourself and come back strong and never do it again. All right. The first unforgivable man sin is lack of control over emotions. Any man that lacks control over emotions, because when you get to the other 2, you lack control over emotions, you're gonna do the rest of them. All right. Actually, having lack of control over emotion is one of the things that's going to cause you to do some of that non-select man behavior, like trying to talk to women and hold them accountable. That is really a loss of control of emotion. Why? Because you already know that women don't listen. You already know that they're gonna do the right thing for you if that's what they're gonna do. You already know this. You already know. So when you try to explain anyway, when you try to come back onto the track instead of just discarding this joker, it's because you're in your feelings. You done lost control of your emotions. hmm There's no logic in explaining something to people that understand. Not at all. That's an emotional move. That's what that is. It's why women peg that junk as doggone non-select man behavior. It's why. That's an emotional move. When you try to sit down and hold this woman accountable, when the broad knows what to damn do, that's the problem. They know what to do, and they know what to do, and they know that you ain't got no business having to explain to them about what to do. Y'all see where I'm going with that one? That's how that is. Lack of control over emotion is something that a man should never forgive himself for. And if you see another man lose control of emotion, that part, I'm not saying you got to beat him down forever, but you need to be reminded of that situation because you got to stay out of those. And if you hold yourself accountable, don't hold women accountable, hold yourself accountable. Let the grown folks hold themselves accountable. She can hold herself accountable. And when you got it that way, that's why the relationship, when you see guys in relationships with women that's not causing them fucking problems, that's why it looks so much better than most other guys' relationships. Because that guy's not explaining to this chick she's doing the right thing because that's what she wants to be at. So he ain't gotta have a headache of doggone explaining and doing all other stuff. He ain't gotta have that. So that's what you get when you just let the selection process do its thing. Okay. Lack of control over emotion. That's the first unforgivable man sin. When you lose track of your emotions, you're gonna do stuff like this stuff we're talking about right now. Okay, it's gonna happen. So remember, if you lose control of your emotions, you probably gonna do dumb stuff. Matter of fact, you can take that lesson from women. Most of the bad decisions that they make in the messed up junk that we see them do is because they lack control over emotion. That's why, as a man, it's unforgivable. You're supposed to keep yourself in check so you don't do the dumb shit. So if you lack control over emotion, you wind up being just like them. Okay. Y'all drop the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. We're gonna get into the second one here. All right. Second, unforgivable man sin. All right. It's inconsistency. Inconsistency as a man. All right. That's why I lack of control of emotions was the first one. Because if you have that, you're gonna do this one. Okay. This don't even got to do with just women. Inconsistency means that your homies can't rely on you either. You on the team, but your ass just there. You like a bench rider. You know what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. Gotta turn this thing off. All right. Right back. So, yeah, lack of inconsistency. Your homies can't rely on you. Nobody can rely on you. I mean, it's just, if you can't be relied on as a man, that's one of the things that they used to push. Even like Kevin Samuels, and that's some of the good things I think they pushing in the manosphere and the red pill is that you got to be consistent. He's like, as a part of, how can you be part of a team? How can you be part of a team and make sense? Especially y'all trying to get money and stuff. Your ass is inconsistent. It don't work. That's why it's one of the unforgivable man sins, being inconsistent. Because your homies can't rely on you. Of course, no bitch can't rely on you. Your homie can't. Your homie can't rely on you. A woman damn sure can't. And if you're part of any other kind of team that's gonna be able to, like, you know what I'm saying, get you to any other type of level, how can you help that team when you are inconsistent? This is like it's like having a basketball team and you got a player on that motherfucker who can't really damn play. The rest of everybody else got told his weight. And that's the problem with being inconsistent as a man. That's why it's one of the three unforgivable man sins. If you're inconsistent as a man, you can't be part of a team. So you damn sure can't lead a family. You damn sure can't lead a woman. You can't lead yourself to be able to be part of a team and make something happen. Inconsistency as a man is one of the three unforgivable man sins. If you see another man being inconsistent as a man, that's something you should never forgive him for, because he can't help you. He can't do nothing for the team at all because this nigga is inconsistent. But matter of fact, let me break it down real easy and make it like this. That one joker let's just say you and the homies when y'all go to the bar. Everybody can afford to buy a round except for this one motherfucker. And every time we go, it's always the same one motherfucker. This nigga got to click. Because at this point, now we just taking care of you. You're not part of the team. Your ass just riding the bench. The rest of us out here getting these MVPs and all this other good stuff, and you part of the team, and everybody know that, but you would see your ass inconsistent. You can't do nothing to help the shit to work. Okay. Now, this is the reason why a lot of guys ain't gonna be like Kevin Samuels used to say. A lot of guys tell guys you won't be high value until after 40. One of the reasons why is because a lot of people get fucking inconsistent and lack control of emotions. The first two man sins up until the point of 40. They cannot be on a team that's gonna make any money or get anything or go anywhere because this joker ain't mastered itself first. That's why I keep telling y'all about it. Look, these three unforgivable man sins, bro. When you see it in yourself, you can't forgive yourself either. Because you gotta think, hey, look, I can't be this. I can't be this and prosper. I can't be this and become the top tier, high value person. These three things are gonna keep you from getting there. They're gonna stop you. You don't control your emotions, you're not gonna be able to control anything around you. That's why the first unforgivable one is like no control over emotions. If you can't control emotions, you can't control money. That's why women can't control it. They can't control their emotions. You know, I've done other videos and I've shown stats. Hey, look, women, they prey on women a lot with things like houses. I saw something the other day that was saying women that own more houses than men. Well, number one, that should be the case in America because America is 51% women. All right. There's about 7 million extra women than it is men in the United States. If you took it, we got about 162 million men in the United States and 169 million females somewhere in there. And then it fluctuates up and down, but it's about 162 million. So that means if you took everybody and paired them up right now, you have 7 million females left over. 7 million. So that should be a fact that women got more houses than men. But the thing is though, I also know this too. A lot of them got their head busted when they bought their house. A lot of them get their head busted when they buy cars because women they don't have control over their emotions. So when they sit there and they show them, and I know that I've sat there I went sometimes with my female cousins when they go to buy cars and shit, and I had to tell them get up, get out. And it'll be a woman that's doing a deal for them. It'll be a woman that's doing a deal for them, and be about to screw your ass over. But she ain't. She just wants what she wants. So it doesn't matter to you guys. Y'all know I'm telling the truth about this because women will do it. If it feels good for right now, they'll do that shit. It won't think about the consequences. But that's because they got lack of control over emotions, and that's why it's the first unforgivable man sins. It's gonna cause you to be inconsistent also. So we done went over them too. Lack of control over emotions. Pretty much, if you lack control over emotion, you're gonna make the same mistakes that women make. What's up, Hancock? I see you over there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. That's why you gotta stay cool and smooth with these women. Many non-select men can't handle rejections from women and can't remain cool. That's why women treat them back. You're fucking right. Let me give you a clap for that. Goddamn right, homie. Look, because it's not even that bad. First off, look at it like this right here. If the damn woman rejects your ass when you first start talking to her, first off, the bitch just saved you some money. She just saved you some money because you was finna spend some money on her, or you was finna go to trying to do dates or doing whatever to try to. So if she told you no, she already look. The quicker you get a goddamn no, the faster you know I need to move on to another person to get something going. But I like this comment right here, homie, because you're right. And when you can't handle the rejection, man, there's been sometimes I done got rejected by a bitch and been like, okay, all right, homie. And you know what? Because I took it so easy, that bitch be like, wait a minute. You just told me no. Yeah, but you didn't spaz out. Why? Hey girl, I can't control your life. You saying no? But you know what? Maybe we can talk. And what happened with them was right there. There don't be no date, no shit. You talk to them and that shit goes almost straight to the bedroom. Then you can start doing some dates and stuff. I'm telling y'all right now. Look. If you can stay cool, calm, and collected with women, that's why I keep telling y'all. That's why I told y'all about the three unforgivable man sins. The first one is lack of control over emotions. That's why this right here, this comment that is so important. It's showing you if you control your emotions, you're probably gonna get treated like a select man. But if you don't control your emotions, you're gonna get treated non-select, like real quick. Real quick, guys. It ain't gonna take long. So remember, you gotta stay in control of your emotions the whole time. Even when they doing stupid junk. All right. Let me go ahead and go with this last unforgivable man saying too, because I'm gonna come back to this same thing and we're gonna talk about it a little bit more. But the last one is that your ass, you know what I'm saying, is disloyal. Like to your clique. All right. You disloyal to your clique. Now, this can include a woman. You know what I'm saying? It can include your girlfriend or any woman that's part of your main group. All right. Because here's the thing about disloyalty. All right. And if you see another man that's disloyal, you can't never forgive that. You can't never forgive that because if he'll stab somebody else in the back, he probably stab you in the back too. All right. This thing about being a man is a team sport, guys. It's a team sport. That's why this loyal dude can't be part of the team. You gotta go. You gotta go, and it's unforgivable. Ain't no coming back. Because hey, look, guys, we just gonna talk a little bit about the high value before 40 thing, and I'm gonna go on a little bit of that in a minute here too, because these three unforgivable man sins have a lot to do with that. Okay, a lot of guys not gonna get offered even the chance to get into the circles where they're gonna be able to become high value because they fail at these three things right here. You're inconsistent, you lack control over emotions, and you ain't got no kind of loyalty to the clique. And those things are going to be required because a team can't make it without those things. We all know that. If you ain't never played sports or never done anything like that, you already know that a team can't make it if they got jokers that can't control their emotions, they're inconsistent, and they're disloyal to the team. You already know that. You already know it can't work. And then the rest of your junk will work either. High value before 40 won't fucking work if you can't do the three unforgivable. If you bad off with the three unforgivable man sins, because here's the deal. You're not gonna get let into any of the cliques where you're gonna get a chance to come up. It ain't gonna happen because you're not a good team player. It's the same thing. Like, look, life is a team sport, guy. You got to build a doggone team out here. And if you got losers on your freaking team, you know your team is probably gonna be a losing team. You can have one winner on there, you gonna have to carry everybody else, and that shit don't really work like that either. The three unforgivable man sins, guys. lack of control over emotion, doggone inconsistency as a man, and disloyalty to your crew. Those are the reasons why the majority of guys will never be high value. Because those things would count. The money, we just watched that at the beginning of the video. When I started the video out, and I turned on the Fugazi or whatever that they call that, David Cooley, I think his name is, the no Fugazi, whatever that shit. I showed you that video, and I showed you in this video that he sat there and he led off the list of everything that women say a man should be, and the bitch still was saying, "You're this and you're that," and that's the reason why, because your ass is sitting there explaining to women. That's that's an emotional response. Guys think that it's not. They think that's because these guys are sitting there and they're not, but it's because they don't understand women. They think because these guys are sitting there, they're not bitching, they're not complaining, they're not screaming, they're not getting out of, they're not losing control over their emotions. It doesn't matter if you don't lose control over your emotions when you're talking to a woman, guys. It don't matter. What matters is, did you just fucking try to explain to me when you shouldn't have had to? If you got to tell this girl, hey, look, uh, I don't like when you ignore me or don't answer my text back. First off, you shouldn't have had to say none of that shit. I texted you 2 or 3 days ago, and you never text me back. Why is that? The not texting you back was already the fucking answer. I'm just trying to keep it real with y'all. The not texting you back was already the answer. But what you did, because you non-select, at this point, was go to the other person and ask them why you didn't take. Look, bro. That's like it kills me that guys be sitting around saying like shit like this. Keep calling a woman. They ain't answer the phone call from you. No, because and then if she do respond to you or she do talk back to you, I seen guys that have to listen to crap like this. Oh, I had left my phone here, or I had it. No, women don't do that, John. They don't do that. Mm-mm. And if you select, here's what's gonna happen. That woman gonna contact you. She ain't gonna let you get the idea that she's not. Women do communication like it ain't shit, guys. Women are real big with communication. They're real big on it. All guys know this. Everybody know I'm telling the truth right now. And any woman that don't want to communicate with you is already showing you that she didn't select you. She's showing you that. You won't have to double text. You won't have to keep asking. You won't have to do none of that junk. But if you have to do it and you do it, just expect to be treated non-select. Expect it because you asked for it. You did. You may not think a lot of guys they get mad when I say something like this, but I'm telling you right now, you asked for that jump. You asked for it because she knows what to do. She just ain't doing it for you. So I'm gonna throw old boy comment back up here because I think that's a. It's just like he just said. You gotta stay cool, calm, collective the whole time. You can't lose your shit. And when you do, you're gonna be treated unselect. Now, some guys don't understand that losing your shit can be this, like what I'm just saying right now. She ain't text you back, or you text her and then you double text it, and then you texting, then no, one text, this bitch don't answer you back. Maybe one the next day. But if you gotta start asking Ayla, where the fuck you at, and all that other good shit, no, don't do it. Mm-mm. You just showed her. You just showed her you non-select because you asked. I don't know the best way of explaining this to the guys. You can't. The one thing that I started to notice about the manosphere and the red pill is that They want to be able to not. They want to be able to explain shit to women. It's the shit that you shouldn't have to explain. You shouldn't have to explain these things. And if you do got to explain it, I'm telling you, you're gonna get paid as non-select. You're gonna get paid as non-select. Yes, team player is important. Relationships all about cooperation. Cooperation. I think you mean cooperation. Women who feel or think you're select, all of a sudden their communication is on point. It's the truth. Mm-hmm. Because she wants you. That's the thing about that's select, non-select. Did she pick you or did she not? See what I'm saying? When she picked you, because all the guys know I'm telling the truth about this. When she picked you, it's gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be hard to fuck at all. It's gonna be simple. That's why a lot of guys that come on my channel, they complain about these things. And they say like, hey, look, women this, women that, I had a couple of guys I had to tell in the beginning, like, hey, look, man, I don't do that here. I don't do that here. If she ain't doing what you needed to do, it's time for you to go. It's no explaining it. It's no trying to figure out why. You know why. You know why. If she ain't doing what you want or what you need, you know why. It's because she got you pegged as a non-select guy. Women don't do it. One thing that kills me about guys is they'll come in your face and they'll tell you in one breath that they understand that women got this thing going on. They understand it. That's why you had this thing with this alpha and this beta and this high value and this other junk. That's guys made those constructs because you don't fit between either one of the two of those. If you select, the bitch is gonna take you. You don't gotta have no money. You don't gotta do this. You don't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? She gonna adjust her behavior to what she think you want. And y'all know it's the truth because y'all seen women do it. It's one of the main complaints that guys give me when I'm talking to them about these kind of things. And that's the reason why I did the channel because it's like, hey, look, if you're one of the guys who got to keep sitting there worrying about those things, your ass is non-select. You want to do something about that first. Now, how can I do something about being non-select? Let's get into that a little bit. Okay. What can I do about being non-select? First off, you need to know if you are. Well, how do I know that? That's pretty easy. Pretty simple. How much resistance is you getting from this joker? How much resistance is you getting? You getting a whole lot of resistance? Your ass ain't select. It's just that simple. Mm-hmm. It ain't hard. It ain't nothing that you got to doggone figure out. That's why I understand like the manosphere and the red pill even existed. There ain't shit to figure out. And if you got to get coached about, you know, these things, you already got a problem. Most guys should know this shit anyway. It's just they got to put it into play. That's why I tell them on my channel, you already know the answer. Everybody already knows the answer. The thing is, are you going to put it into play? You got to put it into play. That means if the broad ain't acting right, you walk off. You don't try to explain. You don't tell them that. That's holding women accountable is the most silliest thing that I think I've heard men talking about on this doggone manosphere and red pill shit the whole time I've been watching it. That's the silliest crap. We're gonna hold women accountable. We're gonna no the fuck you ain't. No, you ain't. What you need to do as a guy is if the broad ain't holding herself accountable, is you need to go on about your business. If you got to explain to this broad, you are losing right then. If you every breath in your that you are spitting out of your mouth is a loss. When I watch the No Fugazi guy talk to women, when I watch Kevin Samuels talk to women, when I watch doggone what's his name, the Myron Gaines guy, when I see them talking to women, every breath that you using to explain shit to a woman is you just taking time off your life for no reason. You could be using that air to breathe for something else, like getting some ass, fucking a bitch. You can use that breath for that. But trying to explain to them, you already doing non-select behavior right then. They know. that men that they pick don't have to explain to them. They know this. Any woman that you pick ain't gotta explain shit to you. It goes both ways. Any woman that you pick don't gotta explain nothing to you. You're gonna try to be the best. That's why it goes back to this shit that I keep saying. We all went to kindergarten. We all sat in a little circle. Everybody learned about friends. Everybody learned about respecting each other. Everybody learned about this and that. And those rules did never change. If you gotta pay to be somebody's friend, it's like women do. You gotta pay a bill. You gotta do this to get to meet me. You already know that this person don't like you. You already know it. Why? Because you gotta pay to be somebody's friend. The answers don't gotta be explained, guys. They are already there. Everybody already knows all the answers. That's why it's non-select man behavior. When you sit there and you act like you don't know what it is, and you trying to explain somewhere around it instead of just doing the damn rules, your ass gonna get treated like crap. That's what's gonna wind up happening every time. And you really can't blame nobody but yourself. Why? Because you put that behavior out there in the world for them to see it and for them to make that decision. You really did it to yourself. You ain't got to explain to no woman that wants to be with you, no woman that you want to be with. She's not gonna have to explain nothing to you. All this junk that women cry about getting provided for and all that stuff like that. If they got a guy that wanted them, that shit would happen naturally. Most of these guys that know that listen to me right now probably know that I'm telling you the truth. You know it. They would get the things they want if they took somebody that wanted them. But that's the problem. They don't do that. So when you're doing a non-select man behavior, you're also doing the same thing. You're trying to take somebody that don't want you, and that's why you wind up explaining and crying and bitching. The same reason that they do. Non-select behavior, we need to stay away from that, guys. Okay? We got to stay away from that. All right, we finna wind down here because we done been on about an hour, and we'll get ready for next week. Next week, guys. Well, I'm gonna be telling a story because like I had to deal with some junk. As a matter of fact, I may as well go ahead and talk about this now. Non-select behavior can cause you. Yeah, I better say it now. To hurt yourself. I got a homie that done did that now. All right. Uh, the best, easiest way of explaining this is this right here. The homie that hurt himself with this junk got into it. First off, he lost control of his emotions. He committed all three of the unforgivable man sins, every last one of them, before he crashed out on this chick. All right. First one, he lost control of his emotions, which is what caused him to do what he did. And what he did was he got upset with his chick and released photos of her and porn type photos of her onto the internet. All right, they wouldn't arrest his ass because I come to find out that's a felony. Okay, they went and arrested him, and he finna have to deal with that now. All right, because he broke the first one, lost control over emotions. He broke number two also. Okay, and he was inconsistent. Instead of him walking off from the chick, he had already walked off from her. It had been about a year, and then you started back talking to her and everything else when you should have stuck with the first decision. It was already bad. It was already not going right. You left. And then you went back. Inconsistent. Why? Because you lost control of your emotions, which you knew that you should have left the situation. You see how this is working. But because you was emotionally bound to this person, y'all got a kid, this and that, you went to inconsistency, and then it started costing you. When you break the three-man rules, it's gonna cost you. He was also disloyal to his crew because we done told you we're gonna help you as long as you stay out of this situation. You went right back into it. All three. All three. You said you was gonna stay out. You told us this. You told us you weren't gonna do it. But now we're dealing with this situation. Why? Man broke all three of the doggone man sins, guys. That's why I told y'all about them today. You can't. You can't. You're gonna wind up in bad situations. Now, this guy gotta go to jail or probably gonna get heavily fined. Probably gonna get fined. She can do a civil suit also. That's why I found out about that. She can do a civil suit on him for doing the junk. You lost. Lose. Why? You broke the 3-man rules, and every time you breaking them, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. We're gonna wind down on this one, guys. Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about? Y'all drop the comments, let people know, but let me know things like that. Next week, I'm gonna be talking about pretty much like what you got to do as a man to kind of get towards being high value. Okay, because high value ain't just money. It's not just money. It's a way of thinking. These 3-man rules, you know what I'm saying? They matter too. They part of all of that. Let's see this last comment here from Hancock. See what he talking about. You always got a good one. See, some dude I work with told me, if you're red pill and rude, you would get women. I told him if you're sexy to a woman, you can act nice or mean, and you will succeed. But dudes be listening to bad advice. Yeah, that red pill and being rude don't work on women. It really don't. It works on loser bitches, but that's why these motherfuckers always got you. Oh, look, man, let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all ever notice how the red pill guys ain't never talked to a bitch that makes sense? They got any kind of sense? They never. These guys, their attitude and their way of doing and walking around and being. That's why I'm telling guys, you'll be carrying this junk inside of you, and it comes out to the rest of the world. If women that got any sense, they gonna stay away from your ass. It's the same way you gonna stay away from a feminist. You gonna hear her talk, and she's gonna turn you off before you even get to the point of trying to even like her, because she's already gonna open her mouth because she's got these views. She thinks that they're right, and she's gonna open her mouth and be saying that shit, and you're gonna be like, oh no, I hit it, but that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Red pill is gonna get you rejection from women the same way that feminism is gonna get women rejection from you, because red pill ain't shit but reverse feminism. We're gonna talk about that next week. I'm gonna write it down right now. As soon as I get in a little bit here, I'm gonna write that junk down. That's gonna be the topic for Live at 5 next week. Red pill is reverse feminism. I'm telling you it is. I'm telling you it is. And most guys, if you keep paying attention to it, you're gonna see that it is. Red pill is lose lose for women, just like feminism is lose lose for men. Red pill is like the woman that wants to be with a red pill guy. You going into a damn room with no way out the door. Once they close that door, you locked in that bitch. And feminism is the same way. If a guy dates a feminist, it's gonna be the same thing as lose lose for the dude. It's lose lose, guys. No, homie. You told the dude right. You know what I'm saying? You sexy to a woman. If the woman wants you, that's select. That's select. Right there. Select. And when you select, the things that you just got done saying that, Hancock, is what's gonna happen. You could be nice, you could be mean, you could do anything. You could say damn near anything. When that woman wants to be with you, you've seen it. When that woman wants to be with you, guys, you could say anything and do pretty much anything, and it's still gonna work out. It's still gonna work because she's gonna make it work. That's the thing. That's why it's got to be selection. That's why she's got to pick you. It can't be too much of you picking her. It's better if y'all picking each other, but she needs to be picking you. Definitely. Even if you ain't picking her, she needs to be picking you. Because she ain't picking you, she gonna be tricking you. That's what's going to happen. I got 1,000,001 of them little rhymes, guys. More of these videos y'all watch, y'all. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, look. That red pill junk, guys. I don't see why men like it. Okay. You got you get on there and you're fussing with women, debating with women. I'm telling you guys that's non-select behavior. Any man that debates with a woman, especially on relationship shit, because you're the leader. You're the leader. So how the hell is you debating anything? Huh? Bitch didn't want to come on. Why are you debating anything? And they see it that way too. Matter of factly, I watched some of them red pill conversations with women. With the man's the leader. The man's the leader there. Yeah, yeah. See, they'll go to telling you about that. But the thing of it is you shouldn't have to get to that point where those things having to be enacted like that. It shouldn't be that way. I'm talking to guys from a point of view where I want them to understand that what you putting out of here is some of what you getting back. Okay. I don't have. I went out last night. I almost didn't make it to do this. I was drunk. I don't know what. I slept almost all day. But I went and hung out with this 32-year-old chick. Had a couple of drinks. I went in there. Look, calm, collective. Hey, look, we've been talking back and forth a little bit. Hey, you going out tonight? Yeah. She told me where she was gonna be at. I'm gonna show up. We have a couple of drinks, talk a little bit. Blah 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 blah. I'm supposed to see her again tonight. But either way as it goes, I went in there. No pressure in the bitch. Talked to her a little bit. Bought a couple of drinks. We had a couple of shots. She started talking to me, and when she started talking to me, she turned her chair, and she was facing me. And at that point right there, I already knew, okay, now I need to go ahead and keep having this conversation. You got to look for little signals like that. Women, and I didn't have to do a whole lot of goddamn talking. She was doing more of it than anything else. But you gotta be looking for stuff like that. And when you see the selection type stuff, then you go ahead and you keep going for a little bit. But red pill and being rude, hell no. Rude ain't gonna get you nowhere, guys. Let me tell you what rude gonna get you with women. You can get some loser bitches. You can get the bitches that's throwed off. The type of broad that you see on the red pill shows is what red pill mentality is going to attract. Yep. That's why you don't see, because it's going to be an inflammatory freaking arguing back and forth. It's a feminist arguing with a red pill dude. That's really what the fuck happens. When you do red pill and stuff like that, you got more chance of attracting a feminist because you got this outward fucking shit going on and being rude. You got more chance of attracting a feminist than you do a woman that ain't that. You got more chance of that. The proof is in this comment right here. That's on this screen right here. This man is telling the truth. He's telling the truth. But he's also showing like a contrast. Well, another guy's saying if you do this right here, you'll get women. No, you won't. You'll get the loser bitches. Yeah, you damn sure will. You'll get the loser bitches all day long. Because they the only ones who really, because they toxic. They toxic. Toxic and toxic. Don't believe this shit about opposites attract, guys. No. You usually attract what the hell you are. You're a rude, ignorant motherfucker. You're probably gonna attract a rude, ignorant ass chick. You're a red pill dude. You're probably gonna attract a feminist because, like I keep telling you, red pill ain't nothing but reverse feminism. That's really what it is. You're putting out bullshit ass energy, and she gonna meet that energy. That's why when you watch these shows with these guys on these shows and stuff, all the women are always delusional ass, crazy ass bitches because the people that invited them there, they're that. You're not gonna be able to talk to it. Look, guys, this shit could pretty much breaks down this right here. When you walk on the damn street, when you meet people, you're gonna give them back the energy that they give you. If somebody's acting like shit, you finna act like shit. If somebody's being decent to you, you probably gonna be decent to them. You see how that works? Yep, that's how it goes, guys. That's why there ain't no argument about this jump. It really ain't. It's just either you gonna be real with yourself and stop walking around with a chip on your shoulder, or you're gonna get people back that they got a chip on their shoulder too. Look, if you don't hang out in rowdy ass places, some people don't go hang out in rowdy ass places. Why? Because you're not a rowdy ass person. There's certain clubs and bars and stuff in every town that that's why you got the rowdy biker. You got the biker bar where they go over there and get drunk, get in the fights. You got the gentlemen's clubs where these guys over here in suits and shit and hanging out because like minds is going to go towards each other. Let's see what the homie's saying right here again. I ain't gonna lie, I got women that were known for the attitude, but be treating me real sweet. Being genuine can get you women, but if you're a sucker who's nice, you will be played. Oh, fuck yeah. Let me go ahead and give you a clap for that one, homie. Yeah, yeah. And I like how you bringing that up because you're telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it goes right along with the non-select man behavior thing that we was talking about here earlier. Okay? Because if you're a sucker, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna get played. A sucker gonna be non-select all day. You don't have to be a mean person for women to pick you. I don't understand where guys have gotten this idea that you gotta be mean or rude or something, and that's what women are attracted to. Most guys don't understand. Matter of fact, I do understand that. Let me explain this real quick. All right, guys think that women are attracted to rough guys because they see the rough outside of the guy. Okay, they think that women are. Now I admit that women are. They tend to hang out with some rough motherfuckers sometimes. Women are really looking for is protection. Okay, and you can finagle this. Here's the deal. Some women like hanging out in rough ass, bullshit ass places. So you got to look a certain type of way to go those places. If that woman is picking a certain type of man, it's showing you her mentality, who she is on the inside. When you see her with that gangster, thug looking joker, that's because that's what she is on the inside. She likes going to the little thug hangout places, and she gonna go with somebody because like that's like me. I wear polo and shit all the time. I don't like no thug. I go hanging out in the damn uh thug club across town where everybody got on goddamn Jordans and shit and all that other good stuff. I'm probably going, you know what I'm saying, get in a fight by the end of the night or some other shit because I'm not gonna fit in, and I probably won't be able to get the women there either. All this stuff counts, all right, all of it. So what guys got to understand is when you start putting two and two together, and you go to working with this joint. Hold on, let me grab my phone. I think this chick texting me. But when you put two and two together, and you go to work in this joint, it makes it a lot easier. Like last night, okay, I meet this girl in this certain type of environment. All right, the place we went to is not a hood club. It's just a place where a lot of people go, and mostly not hood people or not gangsters and shit. They might come there about around 2 o'clock at night in the morning. That's when they come because everything else shuts down. But she was leaving before then. Matter of fact, I was telling her I was gonna meet her there about 2 o'clock. She, I'm gonna be there about 11. I knew then I'm going. She gonna be there by 11. Have her a couple of drinks. We talk a little bit, and she was gone. That girl had done went home before 2 o'clock. I left that joke about 5 o'clock this morning, but I took the environment and everything into play also when I was doing this. Okay, and a lot of guys they're not taking that into account when they're looking at these women. Some of these women like they like certain type of guys because inside that's what that broad is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. People are looking for what they are inside. And a lot of guys not understanding that, but that's why the red pill guys always wind up talking to these crazy broads. Because the thing of it is you got bullshit inside of you, and you're putting that bullshit out. So no woman with no damn sense is gonna talk to you. It's the same thing like you ain't gonna spend time talking to a feminist. I'm not talking to no freaking feminist. I had that damn Black High Priestess chick on my show, and I think if some of y'all have watched it, the woman spent the whole time over talking me, and I had to eventually start muting her and all the other good junk. Now, how that happened? The Joker talked to me with decency in the beginning until we got on that show. Because if she had acted that way before we got to that show, I would have never done it. She knew this. I'm just trying to show y'all. They know this junk. They know this junk. All you got to do is know it and then put it into play. You a sucker and you nice, you gonna get played. It don't matter if it's women or not. Everybody gonna play you. Everybody gonna step on you. Everybody that gets a chance to step on you gonna step on you because your ass is a sucker. The thing with women not stepping on guys is gonna depend on if you don't mind getting stepped on in life. You gotta start with that first. Do you let yourself get stepped on in life? Okay. Is you still the joker at the bottom of the totem pole? Is you trying to move up at damn work? Is you doing because see, non-select man behavior can also be staying at the damn bottom. Okay. And you're showing that you're non-select. Why? Because you don't care about climbing up no more and trying to be who the hell wants to be the guy that gets told what to do for the rest of their life? Who wants that? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. Go in the room and play. I'll be done in a minute, okay? Who wants that? Don't nobody want that, John. If you're the type of person that sits there and don't try to progress your own life, you fuck being select for somebody else. You didn't even choose to select you. Think about it, guys. I don't know how there's a lot of people that watch this stuff, but if you're at a certain level at your job, and there's guys at lower levels than you that's been there longer than you see them a certain type of way, don't you? Don't you? Don't you? Hmm? See, it ain't just women. It ain't just a thing with women. You can see this shit yourself if you actually sit there and pay attention to it. Nobody okay. Nobody respects that old motherfucker at damn Walmart that's still working, standing there at the damn door doing greeting. But we know that you fucked up your life. You didn't pick yourself. If you doing that, if you got to stand on your feet for so many hours to make damn money as an old person, you didn't take care of yourself along the way. You didn't think about this. A lot of people that start trying to say, no, you can't look at it that way. It is that way. It is that way because you got some people that got old, but they save their money and they invested all the way up to the point of them being old. They're somewhere doing bullshit and having vacations all the time and living off their little pension and what little money they got that they doing investment and stuff in. And then you got this joker, and everybody knows the difference between the two. Okay, so non-select can be staying at the bottom too. It could be staying at the bottom because you didn't pick you. So why should somebody else pick you? Why? That's like that chick that works at fucking McDonald's, right? Because everybody done seen one or two. You got some hot chicks that work at McDonald's, work at Walmart, work shit like this. But they ain't a manager. You ain't even a manager. You've been doing this shit for 20 years. You ain't even the manager, girl. You still the cashier. You the one that you still getting told what to do every day. But then when you want to get with this chick, she acting like you supposed to treat her like she's a fucking doggone CEO or the general manager. I said, bitch, please. You still the cashier. Yeah, you've been working there for 10 years and you're the cashier. You ain't moved up. You want me to act like you hot shit? That's why I can't understand a lot of good women. I got a job. I got a job. Yeah, it's the same thing back in reverse though. When a guy tells them they got a job, see that shit don't count. But the same thing is in reverse for you. Your job don't really mean shit. That's why it's got to start being about other stuff. Because if you're gonna stay at the bottom, who the hell are you really anyway? Non-select man behavior. One of those behaviors is staying at the bottom of whatever the fuck you do. I know people right now that have worked at like these plants and stuff and shit for years. We 40 something. They don't work at these plants their whole life. And they still the person at the bottom. You still the you're still the one that comes in every day and does the bullshit work. But you ain't even make it to be a manager. You ain't did nothing. You ain't thought about nothing. You ain't try to progress yourself nowhere in that. See, I'm telling you, it's non-select behavior. And why? Because you didn't pick yourself. You didn't even pick yourself. So you can't be mad when somebody else don't pick you. That's just the honest truth about the non-select behavior thing. If you're doing non-select behavior, you're probably gonna do the three unforgivable man sins also. You're probably gonna do them. Because the thing of it is to get to that point of being non-select, you're gonna have to be inconsistent. You're gonna have to have a lack of control over emotions, and you're gonna have to not really care. And you're gonna have to be not valuable to any, not a valuable member of the team, and that's why you're not getting let no higher. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. You got to do all three of those things to move up in doggone the world. You got to. And the reason why is because this is a team sport that we just got done talking about a little minute ago. So don't forget that. All right? Non-select man behavior. We done beat this horse long enough, guys. We finna get out of here. All right? I had to go ahead and feed these kids anyway. Hey, thanks Hancock for showing up and dropping the good comments and everything. Appreciate it. Everybody else that was watching, everybody that sees this afterwards. Just remember, look, guy, uh, the non-select behavior, you got to stop it. If a chick ain't doing what you needed to do, you don't damn ask her why. You get on. How about this? Is your boss gonna keep asking you to keep doing the same thing? Nope. You're just gonna get fired. Fire her. You're the one who's in charge. You're the one whose money's gonna get spent. You're the one who's gonna be the one that oh, you're the leader. You're supposed to be the one doing the thinking. So I'm the one doing the hiring and firing, or I'm the manager around here, right? Yeah. So if you can't perform, you're out. Where's my little damn yeah, fired. Just like that. Okay. But don't ask why. The manager don't ask why. The leader don't ask why. All these words that women want you to use, I'm using these words now. Look at it. They want you to be the leader. The leader don't ask why. They want you to be the manager. The manager don't ask why. They tell you what you're gonna do, and you either do it or you off the team. Just that simple. Hey y'all, I'm out of here on this one. It's Taurus down this that Go Hard to Go Home channel. And we're gonna end this stream today. Listen, hold on. We got one last comment because the doggone the Hancock, he be throwing these good ones out there. See, some red pill men got that mentality, kind of like Scarface. Okay, these men think or feel that yep, they have the power and confidence because they got money. Yeah, like in Scarface, when he said, first you get the power, then you get the money, then you get the woman. Yeah, I remember that. But some of these men never had confidence prior. This is the truth. This is the truth. And having that money ain't gonna do nothing but show you didn't have that confidence up front. If you watch some of the red pill guys, you know what I'm saying. Matter of fact, go you watch the red pill channels, man. You eventually start to see these guys lack confidence. Myron Gaines lacks confidence. His confidence in his money. No Fugazi, whatever the fuck that dude's name. No Fugazi, whatever that shit. David Cooley. No confidence. Why? It's all in your money. If you didn't have this money, you would not be where you're at. You wouldn't be saying the shit that you're saying. All of them are that way. All of them. Because all of their doggone shit winds up being about I make this much. And see, that's the point right there. That's the problem. That bitch gotta like you whether you got no money in your pocket. or not. I got to get out of here because I keep going on this one, y'all. I keep going. We're going to talk more next week, live at 5 on Sundays, guys. So let's charge down this Go Hard or Go Home channel. We out of here this one, y'all. Let me catch y'all later on. Peace.